in this webinar, today we are going to cover the AI capabilities of the Monday CRM. By the end of this webinar, you guys will be able to, have a better idea of how the Monday AI features are going to support your sales team to run a sales cycle, how it assists you and provides you with insights. Also, I would suggest all of you to hang in towards the end of the webinar as we have a amazing prize for your participation. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and let's take a look at what we are going to cover on this webinar today. You guys might notice that, you do not have the capability to unmute yourself. So, if you have any questions, feel free to post that inside of the chat room and we will get to your questions towards the end of the webinar. Or if there's anything really important, I have my teams, looking at the chat. So we are always, keeping an eye out for that. What we are going to cover on this webinar today, number one is, a little bit about ourselves, our introduction. What are the challenges that the businesses today are facing in their day-to-day? What is the solution for those challenges? How we, plan to mitigate those? Then, we are going to talk a little bit about what are the AI capabilities, what we will cover in the overall demo that we are going to see. Then we are going to look at the demo. And towards the end, we are going to look at the future, the upcoming things, and we'll cover what's coming next. And then we will move towards any of the questions that you guys have posted in the chat. So a little bit about ourselves, about Metaline. Metaline is a Monday.com Platinum Partner and a CRM specialist in the MENA region. We are a team of experts that are Monday certified. We are account managers, customer success managers, and implementation consultants that work very closely with you in order to bring your Monday vision to life. Our team of experts, are well versed on various platforms. So, we can go ahead and create a solution that best fits your use case and your business needs. A little bit about myself. My name is Samson Victor, as you guys already know. I'm the customer success manager with Metaline. Primarily, I'm well versed with all Monday.com products, such as the work management, CRM, Monday service, all of that. I work very closely with our implementation team during, Monday implementation for our clients. And post the implementation, I'm going to work very closely with you guys, with our clients, in order to ensure there is adoption, there is value that you guys are getting out of the platform, and exactly, what to do at every step. Now, let's talk about a little bit what are the challenges that businesses are facing in today's era. You see, The Economist says that 61% of executives, they struggle to bridge the gap between their strategy and day-to-day implementation. Why is that? Is because, the market conditions are changing on a daily basis, and it's very difficult to actually, keep an eye on what the progress is, how to, execute correctly. And there's always that, keeps falling through the cracks. Why is that? Is because, you may have some people that are maybe working from home. Maybe, you have a team that's working remotely in another country. And in order to keep a track of everyone, it's actually a challenge in today's world. If we dive into, these problems a little bit more and, segment them, what they are is, leaders, they do not have a clear visibility into progress and risks. Teams and departments are not aligned with strategy. Resources are not utilized correctly, which then overall, provides inefficiency operationally and, lacks a lot of execution. To bridge the gap and to bring in a solution for this challenge, we've partnered with Monday. Monday.com is a SaaS platform which has standalone products under its wing. So, we have the Monday CRM, the Monday Work Management, Monday Dev, and Monday Service. These products together provide you an end-to-end from finish to start in your business process. So you can use the sales CRM or the Monday CRM for your pre-sales and sales services. You can use the work management for your day-to-day, for example, your task management, portfolio management, project management processes. If you guys are a development team that goes ahead and does software development, then you can use Monday Dev. And then, to top it all off, we have Monday Service, which is a post-sale, service where you can provide ticketing system. You can provide a portal to your client so that you can cater to their needs and keep up the communication. So this is how Monday is going to support us through this. Today, we are going to focus on the Monday CRM, in which we are going to cover a lead to deal management, track how leads, contacts, accounts move seamlessly through a custom pipeline, which again can adapt to your workflow as well. We're going to take a look at some dashboards, some reportings, just to see how Monday can provide us real-time visibility on our team's performance and their activities, and then how AI is overall fused with this workflow and how it's assisting us. The AI features that we are going to cover are lead prioritization, lead scoring. We're going to see how AI can assist us with the communication, with writing emails, drafting messages, so on and so forth. We'll see how to record activities such as call activities or summaries, meeting takeaways, and then some next steps that AI is suggesting us that this should be the next step if this is what you've achieved as of right now. Moving on in the presentation, we will also look at Monday Sidekick. Monday Sidekick is your personal AI assistant inside of Monday. Monday Sidekick actually uses your own boards and your Monday setup to come up with daily insights or answers to whatever questions you may have. It's very similar to how you use ChatGPT or any other AI. You can type in your question or the task that you want to perform, and Monday Sidekick is going to go ahead and provide you insights on how to do that. We'll see all of this in action in just a minute. Next up, we'll look at Monday Vibe, which is a no-code app builder inside of Monday. It helps you to create applications that work for you on your use case, and you can go ahead and set up all of those applications that you do not find inside of Monday, or maybe there is a very important use case that you want to work on, and then you can go ahead and always chat with our Monday Vibe system and create an application on its own. So what we will cover in this presentation, again, is going to be leads, adding leads, the leads pipeline, qualifying a lead, contacts, its details, accounts details, deals, client projects, deal insight dashboard, Sidekick, and Monday Vibe. So without further ado, what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to share my screen where we are going to have Monday opened, and I'll walk you through all of these step by step. All right, team. So right now on my screen, what you should be able to see is the Monday CRM. And this is our Monday homepage. All right. So whenever you are going to log in, the first screen that you are going to see is going to be this one. Next up, you have all of your various options here. You have the recently visited, the updates section, and workspaces you are assigned to here. To navigate through workspaces, you can click on this drop down and you'll find all of the workspaces that are available. For today's demo, we are going to focus on AI powered CRM. So we're going to click on this. Inside of this workspace, you'll be able to see we have a complete list of all the boards important for us to complete a sales cycle: leads, deals, contacts, accounts, activities, the sales dashboard, and then client projects. Let's go ahead and start looking at what we have in the leads board. All right, so this is our leads board. Here we have our leads pipeline. So firstly, new leads, attempted to contact, qualified, unqualified. To go ahead and add a new lead, we can always go ahead and click this button here, and this will go ahead and add a lead. We can add an individual lead from here as well. If let's say we have an Excel file where we want to import leads from, we can always go ahead and import leads inside the leads board as well. Additionally, we have a lead submission form as well, which can be embedded on your website, and we can go ahead and fill out the form. Once the form is filled out, the lead is going to land up inside your new leads section right here. Now, let me remind you guys that Monday, it has a desktop platform. It has a mobile platform. What that means is that you can always go ahead and call your leads directly from here as soon as you receive it inside of your leads board. So what that means is that, our sales team, they can actually go ahead inside their phone, access the Monday app, call a lead right here, and add whatever notes or descriptions they have for the specific. Now let's go ahead and take a look at some leads over here. I'm going to open a lead. So this is a 360 view that we have for the entire lead. As soon as the lead came in, there was an email generated where we wanted to follow up for the email. Here you have the leads pipeline. You can mark the lead as qualified or unqualified from here. Next up, as we move through the pipeline, we have different stages. So for example, new leads, attempted to contact, contacted. Let's take a look at a little bit on the columns that we have here. So firstly, we have the name of the lead, whom it's assigned to currently. If in case, the lead came in and we know that this is is existing client, we can move them to contacts right away. Which company, the lead is associated with, what is the title of the person that we're going to get in touch with, the email, their phone number, and then what was the source where this lead actually came from. Moving on, we have a project description, which kind of, shows us like what is required on this specific project. Next, we have AI actually summarizing those requirements for us. So, if you just take a look at this, this actually is summarizing that this client needs motion graphics for a YouTube channel with a logo animation and sound design and branding elements. There is a budget that is mentioned here. Again, the AI column is actually pulling out the budget from the project description. Next up, we have a priority, low, medium, high, or critical, which is set based on the budget that we have pulled from the project description. Moving on, we have any activities that our sales reps are performing on every step. And based on these activities, AI is then suggesting us what should be the next steps that should be taken in order to go ahead and run this lead. So for example, I'm going to go ahead and now change this status from attempted to contact to contacted, and the system is asking me to fill in what are my next steps. Once I go ahead and I qualify the lead, what's going to happen is that a deal for that lead will be created. Associated contact for that lead will be created, and an account or a company where that lead belongs to would also be created. So let's go ahead and qualify this lead that we have here. I'm going to go ahead and change the status to qualified. And let me add my activity that this lead is ready to buy. As soon as I save it, the first step that's going to happen is that, this lead, Donna, she's going to move to the qualified section. Number two, we are going to see that a deal for that specific lead is created here. There you go. Then we take a look here that a new contact is added, as well as a new account here is also created. By qualifying a lead, now we have a deal that's in place, and then we have a contact and an account. Now, let me walk you through the contacts and the accounts before we dive deeper in what we have in the deal section. So when we go to the contacts page, you'll see, the system actually bought in the lead's name, set it up as a contact, added their email, their company, linked the customer or the contact with which account they belong to, and then whatever deal that is active right now, it's also mentioned here. As soon as we start working on this deal and enter the deal value there, that is also going to show up. Similarly, the phone number. What is their title currently? Let's say, they are the head of transformation there. And then, what is their type? Are they a customer? Are they a partner or a vendor? What's the priority of that? And then, towards the end, we have this column, which is actually suggesting us that what should our engagement or how should our relationship run with these contacts. It's actually, utilizing the title and the company name, and it's giving us some suggestions on how we should go ahead and build the relationship with this contact. Next up, I'm going to show you the accounts that we have here. So firstly, we have the account name. Then, based on the AI, we know like, what is their current position or reputation in the market? What is a little bit about their company and which industry they belong to? AI is using the company's profile or website to actually pull in that information and setting all of that up for us. We have a contact associated with the account. Again, the deal that is associated with that account as well. You see, domain is not mentioned for all, as and when we add it for all of them, then the ones that are missing too would show up. So that's as far as the accounts go. So you see, up to now, what we've seen is that how to add a lead. Once we convert to lead, it's qualified, it moves to the contacts, it creates an account, and it creates a deal for us as well. All of these things are all interlinked together. What that means is that we can have a holistic 360 view at any time if you're looking at anywhere. Let me move to the deal section now and walk you through what you have there. So firstly, this deal was created as soon as we qualified our lead, Donna. It firstly added the name of the deal for us. Then, what is the stage? We can add a deal owner or like, a sales person here. So for example, I'm going to go ahead and add my colleague Mujib. What is the deal value for this deal? So let's enter a deal value based on whatever we had discovered previously. And then, the contact that is associated with it, the account that is associated with it. What is the expected close date? So let's say, we're expecting it to close by next Thursday. We can say May 7th. When was the last interaction that we had with this lead or deal? So that's nothing as of right now. Now let me show you these AI powered columns. Firstly, we have the close probability, which is coming from our deal stage. So currently it's a new deal, and therefore, it's showing up what is the probability for it to close on this early stage. Based on the current budget that we have, it's classifying whether or not it's a mid ticket, it's a high ticket, or a low ticket deal. And then based on the close date, it's actually telling us like what's the urgency to work on this deal and close it. And it's bringing in all of this information from the expected close date. Next up, I'm going to go ahead and open a deal and walk you through the features that we have in here. I'm going to utilize this deal, Cater Consulting, for that. Now, as soon as I open this here, this is a holistic view that we have for a specific deal. It provides us insights from, all the aspects that are required. Let's go from the top. Number one, it has the deal stage. Currently, it's in discovery stage. This is the name of our client. This is the name of the account manager or our sales team member who's linked or associated with this deal and who's working on it. This is the deal value that we would win once we won this deal. Next up, we have the deal insights. Currently, AI is suggesting that this is at risk. And why is that? Let's go ahead and take a look at that. So, first thing that it noticed is that the customer, it's not replying to our efforts or our reach outs, and there is no scheduled actions. To validate this, let's actually go ahead and take a look at the activity summary to see like, if that's the case or not. So if we just keep scrolling, we can already notice that, there's majority attempts made to reach out to the client, we want to quickly sync with you to confirm the next steps, all of that stuff. But we've not had any response from the client side. So, what AI did is that it actually went ahead, assessed our entire communication or activity on the specific deal, and it gave us an clear indication that, looks like this deal is at risk. You can go ahead and update the deal stage directly from here, from discovery to lost, or even, in another status or another stage that, you like. Apart from this, if there is a long trail of emails and activities and you would like to go ahead and summarize and understand what exactly is going on with this deal in 10 seconds, what you can do is you can use the summarize button right here. As soon as I click on this, it's actually going to go ahead and assess what's happening, what was the previous emails, the call summaries and everything, and it's going to provide us with a summary of what exactly is going on. I can go ahead and then add the summary to my timeline as well, which is going to show up like this, where, I'm going to have a summary. I'm going to have the key details and what are the next steps that I should take in order to bring this deal back on track. Then moving on, I'll show you what we have here. We have a little bit about the deal details. You see, we have the contact that's associated with. So that's the reason why, I was saying this is a 360 view, which provides you a holistic overview of what exactly this deal is all about, where it's connected with, where it came from, all of that stuff. Next, let's say, we want to go ahead and quickly get in touch with this client. So we can always go ahead and add a new email from here. And as soon as, we go here, we can check here and the person's email is going to be mentioned. We can ask AI to suggest a follow-up message. So you see, AI is going to go ahead and generate an email for us. It generated a subject line. It generated the name. It also tagged actually the name column where we are going to get the name of the client directly without typing it in. All I need to do is go ahead and send this email. What you may notice is that I have enabled the checkbox which says email tracking. And as soon as I go ahead and send this email, I'll be able to track whether or not, this email is being seen, it's opened, or, right now, if there were any links in the email where they clicked, whatnot. So you can see right now, as soon as the email is sent, it says that it's not seen. That means, the email is still out there and nobody has clicked on it. Let me show you another example. The reason why I'm opening this is because I just want to show you if a deal is on track and if everything is going well, how is that going to look like? So for example, let's take a look at this one, 30 videos for brand awareness. And if you take a look at this deal is currently on track. Everything is good to go. There is barely anything negative. There are, however, two negative signals that AI has kind of identified and noted. The first one is that there are no decision makers that are engaged, and secondly is that there are not enough contacts. Maybe there's just one person that's associated with this deal, and AI is suggesting that we should go ahead and add more contacts and talk to more people on this count. Now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and mark this deal as closed one. What's going to happen when I do that? It's actually going to go ahead and create a project for me inside my client projects. What that's going to do, it's going to allow me to actually manage that project and go ahead and complete whatever the task that was assigned to me. So when I go ahead and mark this deal as closed one and I go to my client project section, I will have this new project assigned to me. I have the contact mentioned with it. You see the project is not started yet. Similarly, we have existing projects that are ongoing. So, we have a project which is working on it, a completed project. So that shows us that, from a lead until a client project, how we can, go ahead and run the whole process inside of Monday.com. Firstly, a lead came in, we qualified the lead, created a deal, created a contact, created an account. We worked on the deal, nurtured it, went ahead, closed won it, and a client project associated to that deal was created here. Now, just want to emphasize, this is a very basic project board that you're seeing right now. Our focus for today was mostly on the sales cycle and towards the CRM side of this. If you have a more complex project management process, if there are multiple projects you work with at the same time, or if there are, more details and more insights that you require while you are doing a project, we can always go ahead and connect your CRM with the Monday work management platform, where we have the project management portfolio. And that portfolio allows us to manage projects, on a totally different level, where you would have various controls exclusively for PMO. And yeah, that's a topic for another day, but I'm sure, once you guys are going to see that, you're going to love it. Moving on, I just want to go ahead and now show you the sales dashboard. On the sales dashboard, we are going to see, like, how the insights look like. What are the reporting capabilities that we have inside of Monday? But before that, I just want to take you to this board, which is the activities board. On the activities board, what we have is we have all of the log of activities that are being logged on each stage. So what that means is that, let's say, while we have a deal, sorry, a lead here, and let me go to this lead right here, which is Donna. And with Donna, you see, we actually mentioned a call summary here, what we did, and all of that information. It's logged on the timeline, but it's also logged as an activity over here on a separate on a separate board. Similarly, if you log any activity on the deals, or you log any activity on contacts or accounts, all of those activities would be saved here as a log of what you have been doing on each account, on each deal, on each lead, which then helps you to come back and create meaningful reporting from here. Moving on, this is the sales dashboard that I was talking about. Here we have very meaningful widgets that are going to help us stay on track and on target. So firstly, we have the annual target, which actually provides us, like, an overview of what our yearly target looks like, what our achievement is as of right now. So the actual, it's 96K. Our yearly target is 100K. Then, we have a monthly breakdown of that. What's our target for this month? How much we have achieved? What's the average deal value based on, like, our total number of deals as of right now, and the deal amount? When we are looking at deals, where our deals are lying the most. So the good part is that 70% of our deals are closed. We have 20% that are added as new deals, and 10% in discovery right now. As and when new deals come in, this number will keep updating. Again, as and when we move through the pipeline, these numbers will change too. Now, what is the actual revenue by month? So for example, what are the deals won for a specific month? In April, there was around 3K. In May, we have a good amount of 89K. Then what is the pipeline conversion? From a new to closed one, our conversion looks like 70%. And it's giving us a breakdown that, let's say, if 10 leads are coming in, 80% are going towards discovery, 87% are receiving proposals. Almost 100% of those leads, of those 7 leads that we give the proposal to, 100% are going ahead and negotiating with us, talking more about it, and almost we have 100% close ratio. So this is, our conversion provides us a whole journey. Next, we have our activity tracker. On the activity tracker, we have what are the activities that are being used the most. So here currently it shows us, like, we have been using the email feature, or doing a lot of emails to all of our clients. And we've been, having quite a lot of AI summaries. Again, these are two different colors. Both are a shade of blue, so it might be hard for you to differentiate, but these are two different colors. As and when we have more activities, such as call summaries or meetings, those also will start accumulating over here. Next, we have the deal stage by the sales rep. So for example, it shows us right now, Hussam, he has 1 deal. Samson has 2, Osama and Mujib respectively. And then, with a color, it's actually telling us where this deal is. It's in a discovery, it's a new deal, it's a closed one deal. Similarly, it's providing us the same kind of insight, but on a monthly basis rather than on sales rep level. So, in the month of April, these were the deals that were added and what was the stage. And then in the month of May, what's the current scenario? How many deals are won and how many are currently in another stage? Next up, we have a text-based widget. This actually helps us to create any kind of guidelines, any things that we would like to focus on, or a little description about the dashboard, you can say. With this team, kind of summarize our process inside of Monday, leads to deals, qualification, all of that stuff, creating client projects and the reporting. Next up, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to move towards the other AI features that we have. For example, Monday Sidekick, Monday Vibe, and then I'm going to show you how it goes ahead and works. Before that, again, I'm going to encourage you, if you have any questions, please put that in the chat. We are going to come to those towards the end of this call. Now, let me show you Monday's Sidekick. So I'm going to go to the leads board again, and I'll show you the Monday Sidekick view. If I go in my board and I click here, you should have it. All of you should have it here inside of your boards towards the top in the center. It will, pop out window from the right side of the screen. It's going to, have a chat box available where you can type in anything that you like. You can go ahead and then, attach files. For example, could be any kind of instructions or your prompt written in a file, or if you want the system to upload data, analyze stuff for you, you can also do that. Let me go ahead and add a prompt here and see how it works out for us. So I have a prompt ready. I'm just going to copy and paste that. What this prompt is asking us to do, it's asking the system to kind of show them they're show them top 2 leads. So like among the whole board, which of the 2 leads are the top leads, top notch. But it's also saying that exclude the qualified ones. Okay, so just show us the leads that are in a different status other than qualified. So as soon as I'm going to give this prompt to Monday, it's going to go ahead and process it based on my leads information that I have available on the board. What I've asked it to do is, to summarize the current status in 2 lines, rate the quality, suggest the next steps, draft a short personalized message to move forward with this deal, and point out any missing information. Additionally, provide me with an estimated chance of closing. So what it did is that actually went ahead and provided me with that data. It provided me with top 2 leads. It gave me first one as Jacob from Wizard Inc., a status summary, their budget, what is their priority right now based on the budget, and then the clear requirements, and what is the decision maker. The risks that we can see, there is no timeline logged, there is missing contact information, the lead source is not documented, and then a personalized message that I can send to Jacob, the missing information again, and then what is the close probability. Similarly, it identified a second top lead for me, which is David from Brown Tech, a status summary about David, their budget, all of that stuff. What is the priority? Any risks that it's potentially seeing, again a personalized message, and then the key takeaways. So similarly, you can go ahead and provide your required information to Sidekick, and it's going to go ahead and process it and fine tune that information and present it to you. You can also go ahead and take actions using Monday Sidekick. So for example, if you tell Sidekick to move this new lead from the new lead section to attempted to contact, it's going to go ahead and do that too. Similarly, you're going to find it on all of your boards. All you got to do is go to the top here, click on the Sidekick icon, and from the right side it would open up and you can go ahead and take a look at it. Next up, we're going to take a look at the Monday Vibe applications. So Monday Vibe apps are no code applications, as I was explaining during my presentation. And that actually, this system actually helps you create apps by just chatting with the Monday AI bot. What I did is that I created a lead tracker for myself. Over here, it's more of a lead pipeline where we have new leads, attempted to contacts, contacted, qualified and unqualified leads mentioned. So you see, when there are fewer leads, what happens is that it provides you with maximum information. But it's not that, once you have many, you cannot see that. All you got to do is you click on it. And from the right side again, You're going to see the company, the email, the last interaction, what are the next steps, any activity notes that you have, their priority, all of that stuff. Now let me show you what we have here is that we have a button to edit this app. If I click on this button, this app will open for me in a new page where I can go ahead and maybe change a few things. Maybe, tell the app to change the colors or add a new pipeline stage for me, so on and so forth. And as soon as, I'm going to type in my command, um, Monday Vibe is going to go ahead, process it, and, update the application based on what I tell it to do. Then I can go ahead and publish this app. What that means is that I can generate a public link that actually can be accessed without getting into Monday or without logging into Monday. If you have a Monday user, your app is published. All you got to do is that go to the app directly and do your task from there rather than first logging into Monday and then going to Monday White. This one is yet not published, but I have another app that is published and I'll show you how that looks like. Next up, I have another app that I created. This is a reporting app, which is linked with the leads board. Let me show you what we have here. So firstly, we have some advanced filters, which, allows us to filter from a date. It kind of, allows us to see which is the lead source. What is the status of the leads that we are looking at? We have a leads leaderboard, which kind of ranks the sales reps based on their activities on the leads. So number one right now is leading. The person leading is Osama. Then we have Mujib, myself. If you take a look at their conversions, it's showing us that they had a total of 8 leads that were added. 5 of them um, were qualified, and that's the conversion rate we have. And then, a little bit about lead analytics. What are the core metrics that we are looking at? So total number of 19 leads came in, 8 were qualified. Um, what was the conversion for that on a whole? Then performance insights, what's the average budget, engagement rate, so on and so forth. And then we have the leads by status. So currently, where we have most of our leads lying, if you can see, most of them are in the qualified bucket. We have leads lying here and there. For example, in the unqualified, in the new leads section, in the attempted to contact, so on and so forth. Next, we have this widget that shows us what's the lead source. So where these leads are coming from, we can already see that, the maximum of our leads are coming in from WhatsApp and LinkedIn. And, the other sources have a few of them. Then leads over time shows us like, which were the days where we received the most leads. So, these curves actually indicate like when was the days we received the most leads. So we can always go back and track what we did differently that day that we received these many leads on that specific day. Similarly, we have a source conversion rate, which means that, it indicates that which source is being converted the most. So for example, right now we can see the leads coming in from Facebook ads are having the highest conversion. Then we have the leads coming in from LinkedIn, then respectively from WhatsApp, and so on and so forth. So again, this will help you take a pause and focus on that specific source that what you guys are doing there, maybe apply it to other places. So this is great insights that can then also help you fine tune your pipeline and your lead acquisition process. Next, we have a list of all the leads that we have available in the leads board. It provides us with like, the name of the lead, the current status they are in, which company those leads belong to, which source they came from, and when they were created. Again, you can apply a few filters here and there. You can go ahead. So like if you go here, you can click over here, and then you can always go ahead and filter from their name too. Lastly, I'm going to walk you through the last app that we have. This app, if you notice, is published. Let me go ahead and open this app in a new tab on the screen. And let me tell you a little bit about this application too. So what this app does is that it allows you to take any conversation. that you have done on a different platform than Monday. So, for example, if right now you are talking to any of your customer, your client over WhatsApp, and all of your conversation with them is living in WhatsApp, you want to go ahead and move that lead to Monday so that you can start nurturing it, working on it, and tracking all of the lead steps on it. You don't need to manually go ahead and add that lead here. All you have to do is that, just open WhatsApp and come here and paste that conversation here in the conversation area. And as soon as we hit the extract lead details, it goes ahead, it extracts the leads details for us. It actually extracted, like, what's the name of the lead, the company, their email, the phone number. Obviously, you can always get from the WhatsApp chat, and you can paste it here on a later time as well. It's not that these are locked. You can always update this information. You have the project description, then what's the budget and the next steps for it. Next, all you got to do is hit the save lead button, and then this lead will be added to the leads board. So if I take you back to the leads board right now, and we take a look at the main table, we'll be able to see that, a new lead, Kevin James, is added, and their source is WhatsApp. Their requirements are available here. So, that actually goes ahead and summarizes our demo for today. But again, let me recap what we covered. We covered how to add a lead, how to qualify that into a deal, then, contacts and accounts being created automatically, being linked together, showcasing what was our deal value linked with it, how to actually close one the deal, create a client project for it. And then we dived into the reporting, and we dived into how to use Sidekick, and we looked over a few Monday Vibe apps. With that, we've already concluded what we were supposed to see in our screen share. Again, if we have any questions as of right now, feel free to go ahead and post that in the chat. The whole session is recorded from start to finish. So if in case, you joined late, you'll be able to get a copy of the recording, and you'll be able to see all of the aspects that I covered in my presentation. What I want to show you next, if you guys remember, based on our meeting agenda, is what's going to come next. So I want to go ahead and talk a little bit about CRM agents. Monday is currently going to go ahead and bring in CRM agents for us. There are going to be 2 built-in native agents, and then a lot more that you can configure too. But these 2 are already predefined, and they have a specific task. So the first one is the Monday AI lead agent, which actually goes ahead and collects leads from various sources and brings and saves them to your Monday board. Without explaining much, I'm going to go ahead and play the video, and you should be able to take a look at what we are talking about.
In the past, getting more leads to grow your business meant either hiring more SDRs, working with marketing agencies, or spending hours hunting through LinkedIn for the right people for your business. But that's all gone. With Monday CRM Lead Agent, you can do the work in seconds, and it will bring fresh leads to you every day to grow your business. Let's see how we set this up in less than 1 minute. First, click on Agents inside Monday CRM on the left-hand side, and click on Activate. The first thing you'll notice is that the lead agent will identify your ICP, your ideal customer profile, based on your company and the information you provide. Next, you can either refine it by giving it a prompt, maybe searching through specific leads in a company, or going to the details and setting these things directly. Once we've decided who our ICP is, click Next to decide where those leads go, and one more time to decide how often and how many of them will be added to your board every day. And that's it. You have a new AI lead agent running automatically in your system. Those leads will be brought into your team every day so your teams can start working and growing the business. Each lead will be added to the board when you can automate and add additional functions and information on top of the data that's provided. Under a minute, new lead agent in your product. Congratulations.
You've got leads coming in, sales targets, and a funnel that never sleeps. There's simply no way your reps can call everyone, and consistency starts to slip. Enter the SDR agent, a fully capable SDR that picks up the phone the moment a lead comes in, making sure the right people always get the call and your hottest leads rise to the top. Setup takes 2 clicks. Define when calls trigger and upload a knowledge file with your company details and qualification criteria. Here's a new lead, Danielle from Next to Retail. Her details appear instantly on the sales board in Monday CRM. The SDR agent, Chris, calls right away, even outside your working hours. Every lead gets a call while it's still warm.
So you're looking for a venue for 200 people in April, with networking as a top priority. Let's book you for Thursday at 2 p.m. with our strategist.
That sounds great.
The call is transcribed, summarized, and the meeting is booked. And when 10 more leads arrive, the SDR agent calls them all in parallel. And every customer gets a fast, seamless, and high-quality experience. And your sales rep walks into the next call with all the context they need and can finally focus on what they do best, selling. The SDR agent, always on, always setting you up for success.
All right, what I was saying is that we just took a look at 2 agents. The first one was the leads agent that actually goes ahead and brings in the leads from various sources. So for example, brings in from LinkedIn, and then it goes ahead and adds it to your leads board. Second up was the SDR agent that goes ahead, takes the leads that were recently added and goes ahead and sets up an appointment with them, so that when you come to your CRM, all you got to do is then go ahead and see what the agents did for you and pick it up right from there. So this is going to be a game changer in automating your CRM and your sales process. So yes, these would be coming soon. Currently, the leads collection or the leads agent is in the alpha phase, and the SDR agent that would run the calls are almost there. It's coming soon, so you guys should have access to it anytime when Monday goes ahead and launches it. With that, team, I have concluded what I wanted to present today, how AI can go ahead and help us automating and optimizing our sales pipeline. I'm going to go ahead and take a pause here, and I will ask you guys to add your questions in the chat, and I'll be more than happy to answer if you guys have any. Take a look at the chat.
Hello to all the new attendees. As I can see that some people here have joined quite late, please don't worry. This entire webinar was recorded, and so you will be having access to the entire recording once it is completed. And of course, if you do have any questions at that time, please feel free to set up a meeting with anyone from our team, and we'll go ahead and showcase or walk you through the entire presentation that Samson had delivered today.
We are going to move towards the last part of our presentation, and that is a price for our participants. So I'm going to go ahead and invite Fiona to go ahead and announce what the price is. Fiona, you can take it from here.
Thank you, Samson. So I would like to thank you all so much for attending our CRM webinar today. We really appreciate the time that you took to join us. And as a token of appreciation, you've earned a prize on participation, a limited time one-on-one discovery session where we'll explore your use case and build a complementary basic proof of concept to showcase how Monday CRM can support your needs. Just scan the QR code on the screen to claim your prize, and we'll take it from there. Thanks again, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Thank you, Fiona. All right, team, as Fiona already said, please go ahead, scan the QR code, and we'll be in touch with you. All right, team, thank you so much for joining us today. With that, we conclude our webinar. We are going to share a recording of this webinar with you. Looking forward to meeting you guys soon. Take care, have a wonderful day, and thank you again for joining us. Take care. Bye.